Hi there, and welcome to Ian's Engage channel. I'm Ian. Here we are at the tail end of August, and it's time to talk new arrivals again. And there's a lot to get through, so let's get on with it. Firstly, we have the Sonic Models Large Prairie. There are a number of different liveries available for this model, and as you can see, I've gone for the BR Black with late crest. This is my first ever loco from Sonic Models, and so far I've been very impressed. On first inspection, the model seems to have been built to a high standard, with fantastic details and excellent livery application. The loco runs beautifully on DC, which you can see later during the running session section. I'll be performing a thorough review of the Large Prairie once I've had it running for a few weeks, so look out for that if you're interested. Sonic are only providing DCC ready versions of the loco, meaning you'll need to fit a DCC decoder if you want to run it on DCC, which leads me on to the next item. The next new arrival is a DCC decoder for the Large Prairie. The loco requires a 6-pin decoder that has its pins rotated by 90 degrees in order to fit inside the loco's cab. I'm not really a fan of having decoders in cabs, but at least by having the decoder pins at right angles to the PCB, it makes it less visually intrusive. I went for the recommended decoder, made by Bachmann. However, it doesn't support Railcom, which I prefer to have in my decoders as it will be useful for when I tackle train automation. I did find an alternative decoder by Trainomatic, but I'm unsure whether it's compatible with the Large Prairie. So please let me know if you know that it is. I'll be fitting the decoder to the Large Prairie at some point in the near future, so look out for the video if you'd like to see how I get on. Next, you've guessed it, I've been collecting more private owner wagons. It really is an addiction. The first is a bright yellow Cadbury wagon made by Pico. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I think Pico offers some great budget-friendly wagons that are excellent value for money. They have great details and great livery application and run really well. I just wish they had NEM coupling pockets. The second wagon is also made by Pico and is branded as a Middleton Colliery wagon of Leeds. The red with white lettering seems to be a popular colour scheme for private owner open plank wagons, and about half of my collection is in this colourway. That's understandable though, as the wagons wear it well and look really good. The final piece of rolling stock arriving this month is a Graham Farish Royal Mail letters coach. I've been after a Mark I Royal Mail coach to accompany my Class 1 to 8 parcel train for some time now. I nearly grabbed one at the London Festival of Railway Modelling earlier in the year, but I procrastinated for too long, and when I returned to the stand, it had been sold. Thankfully, I grabbed this one on sale earlier this month, and am very pleased with my purchase. Farish Mark I coaches feature some excellent details, and this brake gangway coach is no exception. The Royal Mail livery makes the coach really stand out from other coaches on the layout, and it's a pretty good colour match to the Class 1 to 8. The next new arrival is a triple pack of Gauge Master Autofrog modules. After successfully configuring the one that Colin sent me to test, I've decided to begin collecting them for future use. With nearly 40 points planned for Shelfington, I think I'll be collecting them for quite some time. I've put a link in the description to the video where I test the one that Colin sent me. They really are a game changer for getting small wheelbase locos to slowly traverse the frog sections of medium and long points. More electronic items are the next new arrivals, and this time it's a pair of DCC Concepts bus spike suppressors. I've had my eye on these little devices for a while, but have only decided to pick up a pair since deciding to install Autofrogs on Shelfington. The Autofrogs work by intentionally causing a short circuit, which is then detected and corrected by switching the frog polarity. This short circuit will cause a voltage spike on the DCC bus, which can be harmful to other components connected to the bus that don't have voltage spike protection. The DCC Concept bus spike suppressors are designed to filter and clamp these voltage spikes, hence making the DCC bus a safer place to be connected to. I've currently got a plan to upgrade my DCC bus, and installing these devices is part of that plan, so watch this space for more information. Next, we have a couple of Grimfish scenecraft buildings. The first is a platform bookstand. I think that scenecraft buildings are always of exceptional quality, but that quality comes at a price, as they're extremely expensive items considering their size. However, I'm always on the lookout for them either second-hand or on sale, and this little platform newsagent made it into my shopping basket after one such recent sale. For something so small, the attention to detail is exquisite. Look at the row of magazines across the front of the serving hatch, for instance. They can't be more than a couple of millimetres tall. There's just as much attention to detail gone into the rear of the building too, and I love how the construction of the building is hinted at, with part of the framing being on the outside. I think this may end up on Mantlethorpe Station, where it would look great sitting on a platform or just outside the station building. As well as the bookstand, I also picked up this industrial yard office building, which I think is even better quality. I mean, just look at the detail of that brickwork, and the dodgy tiles above the left-hand side door. It really is a superb little model. I fancy it may become the Ledgetown Quarry site office, or maybe it would be better suited to Shelfington TMD. Who knows where it'll end up, but wherever it is, it'll look fantastic. Books make up my next set of new arrivals. Ever since getting back into the hobby, I've been expanding my library of railway-related books. Most of these have focused on locos, and in particular, the BR Blue period. However, my most recent acquisitions have been more about the architecture of the railway. I acquired these with scratch building in mind, although having only quickly skimmed through them, I'm not convinced that they'll be that helpful, as they contain more text about the architects and architecture than photographs and drawings of it. Let me know your book recommendations, especially if you have any books that contain plans or decently sized photographs of railway stations, signal boxes, station halts, engine sheds, water towers, coal stages. Well, you get the idea. My final new arrival for this episode is the Ryobi Area Light. Having spent some time below the layout this month, it was obvious that more light was required, especially when looking straight up at the underside of the baseboard. With my poor eyesight, it was quite difficult to tell the difference between the red, green and black wires at times, which could prove disastrous if I joined them together incorrectly. This little light is part of Ryobi's 4-volt USB range and can be stood on the floor or hung from a carabiner, so it will prove invaluable as I spend more and more time beneath the layout going forward. Okay, before finishing up, here's a quick running session involving the large Prairie and some private owner wagons. The large Prairie is running on DC and runs particularly smoothly, which bodes well for when it receives its DCC upgrade. After the large Prairie is finished, I'll switch the test track over to DCC and run my Class 128 parcel train and the Royal Mail letter coach. Okay, so that's about it for this update. Do you have any of the items I've shown in this video? If so, what have your experiences been with them? Good or bad, let me know what you think. Oh, and don't forget to leave me any book recommendations you have. Alternatively, if you've got any hints, tips, useful tools or techniques to pass on to a beginner in Engage modelling, or if you simply want to say hello, then please do so in the comments section. Anything and everything you've got to say will be greatly appreciated. In the meantime, thanks ever so much for watching. Hopefully there'll be more new arrivals to report in the coming months. Bye.